Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic. Today is Friday, which means it's time for another comic fight. And today we've got a really interesting suggestion from actually one of my first videos, but I'm just now getting around to making it. It's a great suggestion from YokiTron290. So today we're pitting the Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes versus the Red Hood Jason Todd. And we're going New 52 Jason Todd. So let's see first what Winter Soldier brings to the table. Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes is a former sidekick of Captain America, and Bucky was supposedly killed in an explosion and was recovered by a Russian team of scientists, which kind of equipped him with kind of this cybernetic technology, and they basically mind-washed him and made him an assassin. So he had no recollection of who he was, and he was indoctrinated to hate the West and everything it stands for. So why hasn't he aged since World War II? Whenever he's not on a mission, the Russians put him into this like cryostasis, basically. So he's really only awake when he's on missions, and they really only wake him up when they need his expertise. So he hasn't really aged. His cybernetic arm is kind of a very powerful tool, very strong. He did serve as Captain America for a while. So he kind of dressed like Captain America, he had the shield, but he stopped doing that kind of when Captain America came back into the fold. So now he is back to being the Winter Soldier, and he now is something called the Man on the Wall, which is a protector that no one in the world knows about, so he takes out alien threats before we know that they exist. This is a post that Nick Fury had prior to this, where basically there's all sorts of threats we don't know about that are being taken care of by this mysterious figure, and that is now the Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes. So for this battle, Bucky no longer has any Captain America gear. He's just back to his roots, cybernetic arm, assassin skills, everything that he kind of learned while being an assassin, but he remembers his past now. The arm does give him super strength. It gives him the ability to throw projectiles with deadly accuracy. It also has the ability to emit an electronic blast, which disarms other people's electronics. So he can kind of shoot out a little EMP, stop them in their tracks, in addition to his natural skills of martial arts, kind of things he learned as a spy and assassin, kind of those fighting skills. So now on the other hand, the Red Hood. And in the New 52, this is kind of his general origin story. He was believed to be killed by the Joker, so very similar to pre-52. But it turns out he was resurrected by Talia al Ghul. So he was resurrected, and he served for a time in the League of Assassins. And this is where he was trained, learned a lot of his martial arts, but he ultimately found them lacking motivation and so left the League of Assassins. His memory was also erased for a time, but he immediately wanted to know what was missing, and he went back to the League of Assassins and worked with them again to learn what was missing. So in terms of his natural fighting ability, he was taught by the League of Assassins, and he was also taught by Batman. So two of the most dangerous forces in the DC universe he's been trained by. He's a skilled marksman, he's a crazy martial artist, he's got the spy skills, he's very comparable to the Winter Soldier. So now I want you to think about these two characters and give me examples of them at their most badass moments, right? So what makes the Red Hood more deadly than Winter Soldier? Or what are some examples of the Winter Soldier doing something like, man, Jason Todd could never do that. So let's see. These two former sidekicks, supposedly killed, then brainwashed and trained by an outside organization, and now rebelling against them. So somewhat good guys. So let's have them fight against each other. Give me examples. Tell me in what story arcs. Give references. And then make sure you like all the things that you agree with down in the comments. Now, here's something else about comic fights in general, and thank you for getting to the end of the video. Next week, I am going to review the past videos I've done. So, gosh, there's probably been 12, 13, maybe comic fights. And I'm going to do a recap video of what you all said, who supposedly wins those fights, and my thoughts on who the victor should be, because a lot of you were asking, give us an answer. And I hesitated to do that because I didn't want to sway your opinion. I didn't want to say, well, clearly, this person would win, because then what's the fun? How would you engage? You're just watching a video. So this was meant to be discussion and debate. So now you have a week to go back and make sure you comment on all those other comic fight videos. And there's a playlist where you can watch them all in a row. So let me know who wins all of those fights, because I'm going to be adding them up. I'm going to be including comments and the really good justifications. So make sure you do that, because I'm going to have a point system for how much a comment is worth, how much a like is worth, how much a really well thought out argument is worth, and I'm going to actually pick winners. So we have a week to do that. So make that your homework for the weekend, right? Each video is only a couple minutes long, so watch each one, type up some comments, make sure you're engaging so that you're part of the discussion on who actually wins. So make sure you do that, and then I'll get to work on basically season 2 of Comic Fights, and I'll figure out a different way to give you my thoughts on who wins. But for now, next week is going to be a recap, so make sure you give all your comments, your likes, everything to all those past videos, including this one. So thanks for watching, that's it for today, and we'll see you next week for a really exciting recap video.